Alrighty, so if you watched my last video, I have completely powered up both Shins because I have given them their Holy Relic. So just out of curiosity today, I wanted to kind of test out and see whether or not running Shin on the farming team is actually beneficial over Sariel, for example, because this is the team that I would normally use for just auto farming because it's really fast, you know, blah blah blah. Probably not even really all that ideal. I haven't really messed with like min-maxing farm teams in a while, but this is what I've just been using. So I have a couple of, you know, of these little what are they called, attribute dungeon keys. We're just gonna hop in. We're gonna be doing the top level of the coin dungeon, so we're just gonna throw it on auto. We'll do 5 counts, so that way it doesn't waste a whole bunch, and then I'm just gonna let this thing auto. I'm gonna hit play on my timer over here on the right monitor. We're gonna let it do its thing. I guess we'll just watch one match of it really quickly just to see kind of an idea. I don't want to do any manual stuff because I want to see what it would be like and if it's actually beneficial to just let it auto farm. So yeah, I think the fact that Green Shin does have 2 AoE moves is definitely going to be beneficial. If he wipes them out completely in one move, I guess is to be determined. I think the bot is also really bad at using King, you know, because, you know, obviously in an ideal situation you want to use King first, and then you want to use other cards, so that way you get the damage boost and everything. But yeah, the bot is really bad at that, so I guess we'll just see how it goes. Unfortunately, I have been blessed with RNG in this run specifically, so he's going to use an ultimate move, but I guess that's fine. I think this is where we're going to lose a bit of our time here, unless this just kills both enemies, which it doesn't, so we do waste a bit of time there. Alrighty, so pretty much 4 turns, I think, right? Was it 4 turns? So, I don't know. We'll let this run for the rest of these, you know, 4 more tries. I'll stop it as soon as it's finished. I'll try to write the time down and everything like that, and then we'll swap over. I'm even going to give Shin Sariel's gear, so there's literally, you know, same gear and everything. The only difference will be the fact that I don't have as many cosmetics, you know, either purchased or upgraded for Shin as I do Sariel. I've invested quite a bit into Sariel, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll be right back. We'll continue this experiment. Alright, so he's using an ult here. Boom, finish attack. 5:30 roughly, 5 minutes and 30 seconds, which is just a little over 1 minute per run. So wait, did I stop that early? I think I stopped that one early. That's unfortunate. All right, well, I guess our control group will be 4 now. Thank you for that, Dylan. Yeah, let me, I guess, change the gear and everything on my man here, and we'll swap over to Shin. Alright, so we've got the gear set up and everything. It honestly didn't kill our CC as much as I was expecting it to. Obviously, Shin has quite a bit lower CC, but it should be fine. We do have the Holy Relic on him, which, if you do not know, the whole thing with the Holy Relic is that increases the hero's damage dealt by 50% when attacking debuffed enemies, which is the whole reason why you want to run him with someone like Kyo, who immediately puts debuffs on the enemy. So yeah, Shin does have a debuff card in his repertoire, but we won't even have to worry about it. We'll immediately get the damage buff on the other card as well. So we're going to hit start. I'm going to hit start on the timer, and then, yeah, we'll watch this first run, and I guess we will just come back in a second after that to see what happens. So I'm interested to see the, you know, the change up here. There was a couple of runs in the last one that I noticed where the AI would actually use, you know, King first, which was kind of surprising. This is going to kill us a little bit here. I think just having single target attacks on the team is so bad. I think obviously if I were to invest into Shin. If I had my own UR gear set for him, obviously it's hard to say like, oh, we're using Sariel's gear on, you know, both characters, because you're not actually going to get the same benefits out of that, because, you know, having UR gear on a specific character is what, you know, makes it good. So yeah, I think if I am working on a set for him, so I think you'll have to take this with a little bit of a grain of salt, I guess, because, you know, some of these damage numbers and stuff like that would be a little bit better, especially for, you know, that first round. He was kind of close to killing all the enemies with that first card. Or, you know, he would have done enough to where Kyo's, you know, AoE would have cleaned it up if he would have had, you know, his own set, because he would have had that much more attack. I think if I were to invest into his, you know, cosmetics a little bit as well, that would also help. But obviously, just an experiment. We're just kind of testing out to see how it works. Ultimate moves sort of cut down on time a little bit, which honestly, like, you know, we have it skipping. That's also very unfortunate as well. The fact that he ranks up cards is also very nice, because it could potentially, like, if it uses enough of those in the early rounds, we could potentially blow through this last round very quickly. But yeah, 2 minutes on this very first run is not looking promising. So let's keep going. I'll just let this thing do its, you know, normal thing, and I guess we'll come back in a minute and see how it is. All right. So we're at 5:30. We're going into the last phase here. Surprisingly, it hasn't gone very bad. The weak point skill actually does very well. You can see it ranks up the cards every now and then, which is very good. So yeah, I mean, an extra 18 seconds on that for the 4 runs isn't awful. I think, honestly, as you know, the last 3 rounds after that first one that we sort of watched was way better. You know, Shin and Kyo both had a lot better of a time. I guess we just kind of got unlucky in the first one. Maybe one of them didn't crit enough or something in the very first run that we did, and it ended up taking 2 turns to finish that very first round. But honestly, it wasn't as bad as I was expecting it to be. I was expecting a really bad time after that 2-minute first run. So I think all I need to do really is just invest into the characters a little bit more. Like, if I work on his, you know, if I give him actual UR gear, that would help a lot. But if I, you know, buy the extra, you know, attack piece, and I throw some actual cosmetic upgrades on these things, I honestly think that he'll do fantastic. I think that he'll honestly be worth using instead of Sariel in this case, because he has, you know, 2 AoE cards. He's, you know, running him with Kyo. He's immediately getting, you know, 50% extra damage, which is helping, you know, tremendously as far as farming goes. I honestly wish that on the, you know, gold running stage, it wasn't, if there wasn't that one enemy that drops down out of the back. If it was just 3 enemies and then you go into the next phase and it's just two flat stages where you don't have to worry about someone coming down out of the back, that would be fantastic. It would cut down on so much time, but then again, that you can't do anything about that. So yeah, kind of a neat little experiment. I'm definitely going to work on Shin a little bit more. Obviously, it wasn't the most exciting, you know, holy relic that I've ever built. I was always kind of on the fence of it, you know, of building it, but now that I actually have it, it's kind of fun messing around with it a little bit more. It makes me want to sort of like work on the character a bit. I've had a friend of mine actually tell me how good using Green Shin has been on his free-to-play account, which is, you know, pretty interesting to hear. He's used him for like bird and like just different like events and stuff like that, and he's done wonders for him. So I think investing into him could be worth it in the long run. So I don't know if I would recommend really building it if you're having trouble with the bird or anything like that. If you're already, you know, do the bird really well and you can farm out the materials for it, no problem. By all means, if you want to grab it, you can get 2 heroes worth of use out of it, at least if you're planning on using green and red Shin. Honestly, I wasn't super impressed with how red Shin sort of performed, but maybe once I invest into it a little bit more, once I get his UR gear and everything like that, it could be better. So that is pretty much it. I don't have anything else to talk about. I think this will be the last video of the week, if I'm not mistaken, before we should get the news for next week. I think so. Hopefully we'll get the news tomorrow, and yeah, we should end up starting the new festival tomorrow or next week. So yeah, should be doing live summons and everything like that. So if you haven't already, feel free to subscribe so that way you don't miss out on that. And other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one.